to deal with a grammar topic, framing questions. See, in order to frame a questions, we have helping verbs. So in two ways we can prepare a question. For example, if we can take an example, for example, what is this? It is a statement. So if you want to make it a question, so there is a simple way we can change the word order. This is subject, this is helping verb. So if we can bring the helping verb forward, so that it can turn to be a question. For example, is he a boy? So this turns to be a question. When there is a helping verb in a sentence, it is easy to frame a question. If the helping verb is not there, so how you can frame a question? For example, he ate a mango. So this is a statement. In the first sentence, we have an helping verb, so that we can frame a question by changing the word order. First, we have used this helping verb, bring forward, and frame it as a question. So if you want to make it as a question, so there is no helping verb in this sentence, then how you can make it as an interrogative sentence, make it a question. So at the time, you should see the verb, what tense it is, identify the tense of the verb. So it is a past tense. Eat, ate, eaten. So these are the conjugation of verb eat. So this is V1, V2, V3. So this form of the verb you can identify here. When there is a second form of the verb in any sentence, you should identify it is in simple past tense. So now we understand that this sentence is in simple past tense. So in order to make a question, we should take in a past tense need of another helping verb. So there are do forward, do, does, and did. Any one of these you can use. When there is no helping verb in a sentence, you can take the help of do, does, give in order to make it a sentence into an interrogative sentence or a negative sentence. So for example, in this sentence there is no helping verb. So the do and does can be used in present tense to frame a question or to make it a negative. Did is used in past tense. So here there is no helping verb, then you can, so the verb is in past tense, so you can use did in order to make a question. Did he? Now you can make it a question like this. Did. So the subject he. Did he. Again, when you are using a helping verb of past tense equivalent, so you should not write again he. Yet. So you can write V1. Yet. Eat. Did he eat a mango? So this can be framed as a question. Like this, with the help of the helping verbs, we can frame as many questions. For example, how many? There are so 26 or 24 or more helping verbs are there. So with the use of all these helping verbs, we can frame a question very easily. But in our examination point of view, we don't want all these questions. We have informative questions. So questions are two types. One is yes, no type questions, and the second one is WH form questions. So questions we can frame in two ways. One is yes no type questions and the other one is WH form questions. Yes no type of questions in the sense, if you ask a question to someone, so the other can answer yes or no. All the helping verb questions can be comes under yes or no type questions. For example, if I ask, have you had your dinner? Had your lunch? Others. So what might be the answer? Have you had your dinner or lunch means you can say either yes I have or no I don't. So anyone. So that these are when you put a question with these helping verbs, you need the answer from the other side comes in the mode of yes or no. So that's why these helping verb questions all are yes no type answer questions. So that's why yes no type questions. So this is not comes in the examination point of view. Now this model WH form questions. So WH form questions means what, when, where, why, which, who, and how. These are all called WH form questions, or else we can say that informative questions. So why we call it as an informative questions? If we put a question with any one of these words, using any one of these question words, you will get an answer, a complete sentence. For example, if I ask what is your name? What is your name? So what can be the answer from the other side? So definitely he'll answer. So he'll start like this. My name is so and so. Something. What is there? He'll tell us. So that's why if you put with any one of these words, you can put a question with the help of any one of these words, you will get a complete sentence as an answer. So how we can use in our examination point of view these type of questions. So we have a question in the paper. So they'll give you a paragraph, a complete paragraph. In that paragraph, they'll underline some parts or the words. What we have to do? We have to frame a question in this format. That's what we call WH form question. So we have to frame WH form of questions. The answer must be the underlined word. So when you are putting a question with any one of these words, the underlined part in your sentence must be as an answer. Like that, you have to frame a question. For example, stop this. Now you can see this paragraph. Long ago, there was a very wise king called Solomon. His fame had spread and wide. Yes, there is a sentence like this. Long ago, there was a very wise king called Solomon. His fame had spread far and wide. So now there are two words underlined in this sentence. One is Solomon. The other one is fame. Now, this one comes as an answer. If you put a question, this would come as an answer. For example, we have what, where, when, which, who, and how. So these are the question words. So we have to identify which word is suitable to frame a question first. So if you want to ask a person his name or something, for example, if you don't know somebody's name, how you can ask what is your name? So here also we can frame, if you get answer as a Solomon, what is the name of the king mentioned in the passage? So if you put question like this, what is the name of the king mentioned in the passage? In this passage, the only one name is there, so you can easily identify that is Solomon, King Solomon. So if you like this, we have to frame a question. You should get the underlined part as an answer. Now what is the name of the king? So that is Solomon. The second underlined part is failed. So again, if you ask, what was spread far and wide? So automatically the answer comes as a is failed. So like that, we have to frame questions for the underlined part in the sentence. Like this, we have 5 marks. So that 5 words will be underlined in your paragraph or question, which you will get in your question paper. 5 words will be underlined. So for all 5 words, you have to frame the questions like this. The underlined part should become as a answers. So that is framing a questions in your 34th question, it seems, in the paper 1. So you have to practice it tomorrow onwards. Thank you.